Hi everybody, this is Anna coming at you one last time as your WileyPLUS student partner. Today I'm just going to walk you through a few features we have available to us on WileyPLUS that will be helpful in preparing for your final. So we all know this home screen well by now. We do our homework through here, but I want to make sure you aren't forgetting about these resources here at the top. First, Orion. I did walk you through this a little bit in the introduction video, but it's definitely worth another go over. With Orion, what you can do for the final, if you haven't utilized it yet, I would definitely recommend it. If there's a chapter that you didn't feel that you feel very strong on, you can revisit it. And let's say I didn't really feel that good about joints. So let's begin here. And I almost feel confident. So rating your confidence level is a nice feature. So while we continue here, what you can do if we continue. Live demo. All right, we are back. So you will find a variety of questions here. There's 30 questions, and that's going to walk you through each little subheading of the chapter. So for this question, I would say this is going to be a fibrous joint. Feel pretty confident in that one actually. And then submit. So that will pop up here. I got that one right, hooray. And it'll give you kind of a difficulty rating, and you can keep going through for all of your questions. Make sure you mark the confidence because that kind of helps Orion with your specific study plan. And whoop, that's not what I meant to do. I want to go back to the home screen for Orion, which you could have done by clicking this. So say you finish a chapter, and I went through and I did all of chapter 1 to just kind of demonstrate. This will walk you through how you did on each question that was part of every little subheading. And say it looks like I got 0 out of 2 for those abdominopelvic regions. I did it without studying. So I definitely would want to focus on those for a minute. If I wanted to revisit the section of the book, I could hit study. It would take me right to that section. If I wanted additional questions relating to that, I could hit practice and it will give me more questions. So that's a really good way to hone in on things that you may not be as strong on. So now, purposefully going back to our home page, all of these are going to be pretty valuable. The drill and practice, especially for those of you in lab, that's definitely going to be useful. So let me get you on the screen here. So you can pick from all of the chapter headings, and it is going to allow you to do some extra practice. So let's look at the appendicular skeleton. You can choose from the illustrations like we have in the book, in our slides, histology slides, the actual cadavers, or anatomical model, which I think is usually the most helpful for those of us in lab. Let's go with the illustration, and we can choose, very specifically here, we'll say we have the right lower limb. On level 1, you can match. So I know that in this box, that is going to be the femur. You can keep going with that. And once you have completed, you can show your answers just to double check, make sure you got everything. Once you feel confident on that, you can actually go to fill in the blanks. So there's no word bank for you, and you'll have to type in everything. So that's just some good. Keep going on the practice there with the drill and practice. Another thing that's useful for kind of a synthesis is the muscles in motion. And that is going to be really kind of focusing on, obviously, the muscles, but the skeleton, the articulations. There's some different headings for each. Say I want to know about the knee. I want to know about the muscles in particular. There's a little video for you to watch Um, you won't be able to hear the sound through the recording program that I'm using. But it points out, obviously, we don't have to know origin and insertion, but if we see it crosses over the front of the hip joint and it goes all the way to the other side of the knee, we know where it can produce motion. Just thinking about how it crosses, we kind of get a good idea of how it can produce motion. So that's just a good way to think of it all together. One last section that you may find useful is kind of digging into our interactions here. That also plays some cool music that you can't hear. And you can go into all kinds of topics. If we go into, I lost it. All right. If we go into the nervous and endocrine system, the first thing that we have been going over in class lately, that can kind of bring you into some sections with some videos, lots of things to do. If you hit browse, this will be just some good information, some good practice exercises. I think that's really valuable for those of us who may get bored if we're just staring at our notes over and over. This gives kind of another way to mix it up. We went over some of this today. So this activity will just kind of let you, synthesize some of your knowledge. If we think this is going to receive sensations of touch, position, pain, pressure, and temperature from the entire body, that is probably going to be, yes, our primary somatosensory area. So you can go through and just think, relate the definitions to the area, and there's a lot of different activities in here about all of these systems. So this is another good resource. All right, so I hope you are all feeling ready for your final, and I hope that these resources will help you feel even more ready. All right, thank you.